official leader of the opposition here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Honorable Eric Floyd Seymour. Honorable Seymour, it has been about 7 to 9 weeks since the country has seen Let's Talk Politics on WIV station. Can you, for the interest of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands, enlighten us on this issue? What is the issue?
Yeah, as the host of the show, you're well aware of what has happened, yes, Mr. Malcolm. And what really has happened is that we have had a contract with WIV to ensure that every week that they provide us a service where we get access to the airwaves. WIV has taken it upon themselves to notify us that they're not going to be living up to their end of the bargain, that they're not going to observe the terms of our agreement, and that is something that I don't want to go into too much detail on, because it is something that is being taken up in the courts, and as soon as the opportunity presents itself, we will have our day in court to seek enforcement of our contract. We believe that this is a clear breach of contract, and I personally believe that this breach of contract has been as a result of strong arming or encouragement by the government. I have no doubt in my mind that it is through the actions of the government that have caused WIV to behave in this manner. I mean, we've had a relationship with WIV for well over a year and a half where we broadcast, and it is only in recent times that they've come to this conclusion, and I think it's partly being promoted by government functionaries to keep us off the air, with the hope that we will not be able to get the message out and to inform you, the people of the country, of exactly what is going on. But as I've said before, we are one roadblock occurs, we'll look for another opportunity. We will continue to do all that we can to make sure that you are always aware of what's happening in your country, and that you have an opportunity to participate and to be, because knowledge is power, and the more information and the more that we can inform you, it provides you to be in a stronger position to make your decisions and to stand up for what is right in this country. And as I said before, I mean, evil prevails when good men fail to act. And as long as the good citizens of this country fail to stand up, fail to act, fail to let their voice be heard, evil continues to prevail. And so we encourage you, as always, to join us, and to whether it be in your small corner, whether it's in your church or in your school room or in your dormitory, those of you that are students, or wherever it may be, that you start to stand up and speak out and call a spade. Never allow yourself to be compromised where you call wrong right or evil good, or let the determination of right and wrong be whether or not you benefit, because in a lot of instances that has been the determination with a number of people. That has been the factor that determines what's right and what's wrong. Things that the people call wrong today, they call right tomorrow when they're able to benefit from it. But right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of who's doing it and regardless of who benefits from the wrong. So while we are here, we have to understand that we are borrowing this country for the 60, 70, 80 years that we're here. We're borrowing this country from successive generations. And I believe that if we continue on this path, our children and our grandchildren could not forgive us for allowing our country to continue down the road that it's going right now without us standing up and saying something about it and doing something to stop this trend.
Mr. Leader, I'm sure that you, as the official leader of the opposition, on how has the media houses in the Turks and Caicos Island has been treating the opposition party, the PDM party, your party, the print media, the radio media, the television media, has it been fair to you and your party? I think the global community would like to know.
It most certainly has not been fair, and any stretch of the imagination. You just recounted this. We have one cable television company in this country. We have that company broadcasts in 3 of the 6 inhabited islands. Mm-hmm. All right, and on that station, we had 1 hour per week. We had a contractual agreement with them where we paid for that 1 hour per week. That they have sought to breach that contract and to prevent us from getting access to that. So from a television standpoint, we have no access to the local community via television. There's only one radio station that broadcasts in all 6 islands. That's Radio Turks and Caicos. We've had, when we announced our anti-corruption legislation last year, August, they were requested to be there. We contracted with them. We were paying them to broadcast our press conference. It's like a few minutes or an hour or so before we were supposed to broadcast, we learned that they would not be there. All right. We've had, when on the day that the Premier called for the general elections, we sought to respond to his press conference by having a press conference of our own aired over Radio Turks and Caicos. And again, this is the only media that either voice or visual media that reaches the entire country. We sought to have that, and no less than the Premier himself called Radio Turks and Caicos and sought to prevent us from getting access to Radio Turks and Caicos. And again, let me point out that Radio Turks and Caicos is a state-owned radio station that's paid for by the taxpayers of this country. And we've basically been barred from Radio Turks and Caicos.
The national radio.
The national radio station. The day after the election, I went to the radio station to record is yet to air on Radio Turks and Caicos. There's a mechanism for appeals in the Turks and Caicos for if you have any issue with a decision made by the committee, by the Broadcasting Commission. Mm-hmm. The election was on February 9th. I sought to address the country on February 10th. We were denied. We filed an appeal of that decision. Today is December 11th. That appeal is yet to be heard.
In the Turks and Caicos?
In the Turks and Caicos Islands. So let's move on. A few months ago, there was some civil unrest. There was unrest and there were labor issues that created civil unrest surrounding the issue of West Cape. What I said is that we pledged our support for all Turks and Caicos Islanders that sought to express themselves, but we encouraged them to do so peacefully and orderly. And that is yet to be heard, yet still. But in that same instance, the Premier was allowed to make false accusations and